and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into a super powerful and sometimes tricky tool in SAP material management, split valuation. If you've ever struggled with how to value the same exact material in different ways, well, you are in exactly the right place. Let's get into it. So let's paint a picture. You've got one material, right? Let's say it's a key component for something you build. But you get some of it from a supplier down the road for one price, and you import the rest from overseas at a totally different price. Or maybe you make some yourself and buy the rest. How on earth do you keep track of those different values without just creating a ton of different material numbers? It can turn into a massive headache fast. Okay, so before we jump into the how, let's talk about the trade-offs here, because there are always trade-offs. The huge win with split valuation is simplicity and clarity. You get to keep just one material number, but you get crystal clear visibility into the value of each little subgroup of stock, and that is absolutely crucial for good financial reporting. Now, what's the catch? Well, it means a little more work during your day-to-day transactions. Every single time you issue goods, you have to tell the system exactly which stock you're using. So it's a balance, right? Simpler master data versus a bit more effort on the transaction side. And the answer to this whole valuation puzzle? It's a standard SAP function called, you guessed it, split valuation. It is literally designed to solve these exact business problems. So what is it, really? The official SAP definition says you can valuate different stocks of a material differently within a single valuation area, which, is usually your plant. In plain English, this just means your cotton t-shirt material can have one value for the shirts you made in-house and a totally different value for the ones you bought from a vendor. And it all lives under that one single cotton t-shirt material code. Pretty neat, huh? All right, so how does SAP actually pull this off? Well, the magic is all built on two core concepts. We've got the valuation category and the valuation type. Let's break down what each of these really means. First up, we have the valuation category. The easiest way to think about this is that it's the big picture reason. It answers the question, why? Why are we splitting the value of this thing in the first place? Is it because of where it came from, its origin, or is it because of how we got it, the procurement type? Did we make it or buy it? The category sets the fundamental rule for the split. So, if the valuation category is the why, then the valuation type is the what. It's the specific version or attribute that falls under that category. So, for example, if your category, your why, is origin, then your types, your whats, could be Germany and USA. Or if your category is procurement type, your types would be in-house and external. See how they fit together? Let's make this even simpler with a quick analogy. Imagine your material is a t-shirt. You decide your valuation category, your main reason for splitting the value, is its condition. Okay, so what are the different conditions? Those are your valuation types: new, used, and refurbished. You link those types to the condition category and boom, the system now understands that any t-shirt can be valued as new, used, or refurbished. It's that straightforward. So we get the concepts. Now let's talk about how this is actually structured inside the SAP system. It's a really smart two-tiered setup. First, at the global level, what we call the client level, you define all the possible valuation categories and types your entire company might ever need. Think of it like creating a master list. Then you go down to the local level, like a specific plant, and you just activate the ones you actually need there. This gives you a consistent framework for the whole company, but keeps things clean and simple at each individual location. Okay, so this is the crucial bit. How do you actually flick the switch and turn this on for a material? Believe it or not, it's incredibly simple. You just go into the material master, click over to the accounting view, and you enter the valuation category you want to use. That's it. That one field is the trigger that tells SAP to apply this entire split valuation logic. Now listen up, because this is a pro tip you absolutely need to remember, especially if you deal with purchasing. When you're creating a purchase order, you have a choice. You can leave the valuation type blank, but if you do, you have to enter it when the goods arrive, no exceptions. On the other hand, if you do put the valuation type in the purchase order, you're locked in. You cannot change it at the goods receipt. That's a tiny detail that can cause big problems if you forget it. All right, before you run off and start activating split valuation on everything, there is one critical prerequisite. This is the absolute most important rule of implementation, and you cannot break it. And the magic number is 0. You can only, and I mean only, activate split valuation for a material if there is 0 stock. And on top of that, there have to be 0 open documents. No open purchase orders, no open production orders, nothing. The material has to be a completely clean slate. This is the number one thing that trips people up, so please burn this number into your memory. So to wrap it up, we've walked through what split valuation is, how it's built with categories and types, and the critical rules for making it work. Now it's your turn. Think about your own company, your own industry. What products could really benefit from this? Where could this clean up your inventory valuation and make your life easier? That's the next step, taking this knowledge and applying it to the real world.